Da 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 da. Hi, welcome to Talks with T. I just want to shout out my girl Cindy because Carson, you don't know this, but obviously I've come from Puerto Rico. I'm tan, but apparently not that tan to some. But Cindy thought that we were going to put out a podcast this week or last week, whatever week. And I was like, no. We took a little hiatus while I was away. And she's like, I was waiting. And that's a real one right there. We love you, girl. Say you love her.
We love you.
As you should. Yes. I'm not holding up any type of object to force Carson to... Anyways, welcome to Talks with T. If you watched last week's episode, you know that I've been robbed. And you know what's really funny? I got robbed again by my... Oh, you don't know this story. I got robbed again by the people that were supposed to help me. So I brought my car to get fixed while I was in Puerto Rico. Pick up my car. They were amazing. Love them. I go to see, my little passenger side, my driver's side door. I came to the auto shop with a taser. I left with no taser. And I go, where's my taser? I'm just a girl. Like, what are you? Oh, I'm stuck. What do I have on my head? Like, just rob me, take it from me. Because I was just, so I called. And that was an interesting phone call. I call on the front desk, a lady answers, and I go, y'all took my taser. Like, I don't understand. Like, who needs it? Because I saw everyone who works there, and, like, I don't think they need it like I do. But it's fine. We're going to figure it out. But, yeah, that was a little weird. Like, why'd you take... And you know how I know? So I have, like, my car wash, like, smell thingies, like the scents, are still in that cart. So I'm like, all right, so if they maybe at first I was like, oh, they placed a new door, maybe that's how. But then I'm like, how the hell did those things still stay? So yeah, took it personal, but it's okay. My car's fixed and ready to go. Me and Carson are moving. That's exciting. So even though y'all all think we have our spot, we're gonna have a new spot. Stay tuned, because that's going to be freaking crazy. But I just want to talk about this week, Puerto Rico. I had a great time. My boy George, my girl Des, we lived it up. We have so many adventures. I've scared a lot of people through my videos because I was jumping off like rocks, mountains, cliffs, whatever you really want to think about it. But here's the one lesson that I want to teach people is... You literally, as cliche as it is, you only live once. And I always think that when I go away, there's a part of me that's recharged. Carson could vouch for that. He sees a different light every time I go away. But if you didn't know, like, I studied abroad my junior year of college. And it was one of the most life-changing things ever. Because for me, like, so life-changing, I got a tattoo that represents that. And for me, something that I hold so valuable now is, like, obviously I came to LA to pursue a dream. And as I keep going for that and, doing things, it's so important to not forget, like, there's so much more. And seeing things like when I was in Puerto Rico, like, we went to Old San Juan and I was just, like, mesmerized. I was like, this reminds me of just, like, exactly why I love traveling, like seeing things, talking to people. Listen, I talk to everyone. So I met some people out there and I want to know about your whole life. I remember meeting a man in Ireland that was like 80 years old and talking to him for 4 hours. Don't know what he's doing now, but we loved him. Kenny, if you're watching, I don't think you are, but if you are, he didn't have like any technology. Love that for him. But, can never be me. Maybe if I go on a farm. Imagine me without anything. I did that once. I'm actually wearing the shirt. This is I promise to God that wasn't planned. I just realized. So this is the island. My mom, oh my gosh, you know what? We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now because this is actually funny stories. I wouldn't have, that wasn't even planned. So the island, I did go without technology. If y'all thought that I couldn't go without technology, let me tell you something. I could go without technology. My mom, as good Christians, sent me and my brothers to Christian camp every year, the island. It was actually fun. Like, don't think of it like this prison. But I like to be rebellious. I like to test the waters. And so this Christian camp specifically was the type of Christian camp where you can't touch. You watch how you move those hips or you're going to hell. It was just very like you had to be cautious. So of course, Teona, little Teona. When I was younger, I followed the rules, whatever. But my mom would send me there every freaking year, and like it doesn't change. It's the same camp. So, I started wanting to see what can I get away with. So my friend Brooke Weiland, love her, she was just as crazy as me. And my girl Brooke and me really wanted to test it out. And so when we were together, I said, what perfect time to see what we can get away with, because us together, if you think I'm a freaking tornado, just wait. We're a freaking bomb. Like, we're the freaking nuclear bomb that the world is like so scared to drop. Like, don't worry about it. We are that. That's us. That's hello, Hiroshima. Huh? And so, it's us. So, Pearl Harbor. So, yeah. So let me tell you about it. Starts off the week, Christopher, I've talked about him before. He drove us to Word of Life Bible Camp, and the island is like its own. So there's like the ranch, and then there's like the island. So the island's for the bigger kids, but it's literally an island. Like, you have to take a boat to it. So Christopher and his wife were like, they volunteered to drive like the kids from our church. It ended up just being me and Brooke. And so him and his wife were staying like off the islands, but nearby. It's in upstate New York. So they're like, okay, like we'll stay for the week while you guys are up there. So this is when it gets good. The first test, you're not allowed to have phones. They take away your phones. Like, there's no, like, your communication is like going into the little chamber and like calling your parents like prison. And so, but at that point, like, why do I even want to talk to my mom? Like, I didn't want to conform to that. Like, what the hell is this? So I took it upon myself to lie and say I didn't have a phone. We had phones. We were texting away. Like, I'm in this camp. We got caught because, it wasn't enough. Then me and Brooke started making songs, profound songs that were like, I still remember it till this day. Something about, how does it go? Big booty Bethany walking down the street. Everybody stops and they stare at her, me. She shake it, she bake it, she looks so good. Girl, it's the mood. I said something like, I rhymed it, but like, this was my camp counselor. And I was literally like 14 years old, like 14, testing the waters. And imagine singing this song about a counselor. She had a big butt, but she couldn't shake her hips a certain way because, like, God forbid, hell, she can't like be seductive. Then I purposely would like hug people. You can't hug. You gotta like do the side hug. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, doing a side hug. Like, Jesus hugged. Like, I just want to. This is the best part of the story. We every time me and Brooke, we would test the waters. Like, at one point I ran away. It was like 10 o'clock and our bathroom cabin had another door to exit. So I said, let's play hide and go seek. That wasn't funny for some people. I mean, they really thought that I got mugged by bears or something. Brooke is just dying laughing. Brooke, if you give her soda, like, she actually becomes like a crackhead. Like, she literally just straight up, she goes insane. So like how coffee doesn't work on me. No, you have to limit her caffeine. We purposely would give her, I would sneak her caffeine. And she like a rabbit. I loved it. So this is when it gets really good. We wanted to get off the islands. We wanted to see how, like, what can we do? So it took a turn. Obviously, the songs weren't working. Us shaking our hips on the top of the rocks weren't working. Flirting with boys wasn't working. So we thought, okay, let's pretend to be possessed. So we had a whole deviant like plan. 3:00 in the morning, because witching hour. Everyone goes to sleep. Me and Brooke wake up and we just go, like we're just like 10 girls in this cabin, 2 counselors. I'm like crawling on the bed. Like I'm like, and Brooke's like, at first she's like, we're like going like this. And so then Christopher gets a call, like literally like about like the fact that like we're about to send these girls off the like he's like, what are you guys doing? The fact that like your counselors are freaking scared of you. And so the time comes, he shows up to the islands. And like they all thought that was like my husband or something, because I went to hug him and they were like, you can't touch her like that. And I'm like, bitch, shut up. Like, first of all, go away, fucking Becky. I didn't ask you. This is like a father to me. God forbid I hug him like that. Like, so yeah, but I love the island. The island was great. It was a fun time. I grew up going there, great, but it's definitely one of those like your typical church camps where it's like, God forbid you look at someone the wrong way, you're pregnant. That's it. You're pregnant. Like that's what. But so funny. Yeah, I love this shirt. I wore this. I used to like wear this stylistically with like Jesus sandals and like make it into a dress. So that was like they're like, you can't do that. Like that's inappropriate. The whole like t-shirt and biker shorts, like I did that, but minus the biker shorts. I was just wearing this around town. So I was yelled at just to get closer because, you know, obviously my voice is so weak at projecting. But yeah, so that was me. Back to Puerto Rico. I mean, I just really needed to give you that note because my mom got some interesting calls. I think the best one before we talk Puerto Rico was, for me, it was Miss Padan's 5th grade class. And we had I think you know this story. I really had a whole like lesson planned about traveling, and now I'm just, isn't it funny how God works with giving you different plans? So for I know the plans you have, it says that. Yep. So anyway, so I didn't learn that in church camp. I learned about my identity, and obviously they did too. They knew I was a crackhead. Anyway, so my mom, when I was a kid, 5th grade, my brothers, we all did different ways of torture, like, you know, torment. Mine was, I had a very, as you could tell, a creative mind. I loved creative things. I loved creating. I had imagination like no other. That's probably why I'm in the entertainment industry. Don't know why my mom's shocked. But, you know, in the 5th grade, I was, you know, there was a contest about bullying, and you had to write an essay about bullying. Like, but the way that my teacher, like the way
I thought it was who's the best at bullying.
I could do that well. I just thought, you know, like the way that my mind comprehended this was like, okay, I'm thinking who could write the best, like the way she put it out wasn't like preventing bullying. It was like write about bullying, like, and then she mentioned a prize. So I guess like my mind was fixated, like any, like, I don't know how old you are in the 5th grade, but any child is like fixated on this fucking prize that is going to change your life. And I was like, a prize? I need to win. Like, what do I do? So Teona, creative little Miss Talkative Teona, decided, let's write an essay. Of course, I want to enter this contest about bullying. So I'm thinking like, is it supposed to be like, I don't know, it's like an English, it was a 5th grade English class. So I thought like, I think I did a great job if you believes this. I wrote basically the child called it and I was the child in the story. So I wish I still had that essay. My mom refused to ever keep it. So the essay was like, I get scared to like go home because my brothers are going to beat the crap out of me. I didn't say it like that, but I said, I sometimes get scared to go home because my brothers are waiting at the door to hit me. I sleep at my old house. There used to be like an alleyway. I sleep in the alley because I don't want to be found, because if I'm found, then I won't eat. And it's better to not be found because then you get hit and not eat. Like I literally, first of all, they made us read The Child Called It that year. So I was really like creative. We have a park that was outside of our house. I said, I sleep in the sandbox in hopes that someone will find me. I mean, like it is literally a loop. Like someone could find me. Like, but I made it sound like I was in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just really writing it. Like I write about how my mom whacks me, and it was like this full-on story that I created because, like, first of all, like, we're reading The Child Called It. Like, I found out there was a prize. Like, I thought this was what we had to do. Like, write something so creative so that people could feel, and, like, I don't know, like, Miss Padan should have been more precise with what she wanted, honestly, because I gave her what she asked me. In my mind, I did what you asked for. So I wrote this full-on beautiful essay, like beautiful. Like it was so like creative. Like I really. Now, here's where Miss Padan should have really like, put two and two together. What kid that gets the shit beaten out of them goes to their teacher excited to let them read about how they get the shit beaten out of them? It's not common. So I, the next day, go, Miss Padan, read my essay. It's so good. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I've never, like, been so excited. Like, she's usually yelling at me because I talk too much. I've never been excited. Like, I'm like, Miss Padan, please read mine first. Please. Like, I'm, like, so excited. So that day, when school's over, I was like, God, let her read it. I want to win. I get a call. The phone rings. So the way that our phones worked, so it's like we had like 3 in the same house, but you could all see it. So once someone picks it up, if I picked it up, you could hear me too. So I'm upstairs and like something in my gut is like, I'm going to win. And then I get a call and I run to it. For some reason, I just had this feeling it must be Miss Padan. Like maybe I won. It was Miss Padan because I saw the last name tag, but my mom answers it before me. My mom, as she answers the phone, you hear me go, I won, or like I screamed something out of excitement. And Miss Padan, without even my mom saying hello, goes, I bet you're hitting her right now. I bet you're hitting her. Because like it sounded like I was like screaming for help. And so we all, as a collective family, had to come in the next day. And I had to explain to the principal, to Miss Padan, that I don't get the shit being out of me. I, in fact, am just a kid that had an imagination. And so at the end of all of this, no child services was called, but at the end of all of this, my last question was, well, did I win? Like, did I win? And I, in fact, did not win. And I thought that was bullshit because honestly, like, you wanted to, like, what better way to project bullying and like abuse and all that than like, you believed it. You took what I should have fucking won. I still am butthurt about that. I'm really butthurt about that because honestly, I poured my heart and soul into that, but I didn't win. And that was rough. But yeah, Miss Padan, she was something. I'll never forget that story. But yeah, I'm creative. My mom's really had some interesting. So that was the best story for me personally growing up. I've also like had stories where I've defended like people because they were getting bullied, and my mom gets a phone call that your daughter just flicked someone in the neck because to my defense, I thought I was doing the right thing. Yeah, I swear I'm a nice person, but sometimes I just have my moments, like, don't we all? But yeah, so that's that. That's a good story. She never knew. I think all of us were kind of just like Lasha did his like funny. Lasha was funny with his torture. Like Lasha would torture teachers, but in like a very strategic way. Like he would cut the phone of a I don't know if I should say it's just like illegal. I don't think so. Like he cut his class cut the cord of a phone and then like would just like make fun of the teacher, and when he went to go pick up the phone to call the principal, it was unplugged, so they couldn't do that. Irakli was different. Irakli was the type of person to like challenge his teachers, like, you're not going to tell me what to do, like do 50 push-ups, let's see who wins, and then you could tell me what to do. Irakli was always getting into something. I was just more like creative with what I did, in the sense of loud. I mean, I will say Irakli one time when I was a freshman came into my class and pretended to be a chicken and tried to get me out of class and say, "Buck, buck, buck, get my sister out of class." Like, he was like psychotic. Maybe that's why my mom has grays now. Like, she's just like, it's torture. She has a few grays, as any person with 3 crazy kids would. Yeah, we were a good time though. I think she had a great time. I think like I want the same amount of kids because of that. Like, I want 2 boys, 1 girl. I think that's enough. I really wanted 4 at one point. I was like, I'm actually good. If I have 4, I want 3 boys, 1 girl. I only want 1 girl. Yeah, putting that out there. So remember that. Just want to let you know. Because if it's not that, Carson, you know, you'll rue the day.
How is this my problem?
Because I feel like you should be praying for me. Like, you should start now that you know that I want this. Like, you should be praying for it too. Like, pray for your friends and family. Like, this is what I want. And if I don't get it, it's your fault. Anyways, so back to my travel story. Yeah, like, it was a good time. I will say, George definitely had to deal with a lot. Like, for example, I know like let me get comfortable. I know that the internet like listens to us. I'm all about it, fine, but at least like advertise things that aren't gonna make me shit my pants. Like, so I brought up long legs. One thing about me is I don't like scary things. I could watch like serial killer shit, but demonic, I draw the line, because I don't know if you knew, like, I love God and I'm a Christian, and like I just don't put that in. Like, I believe that like you're asking for something, you're opening a door to something. It's just my way of thinking, is I believe like you're entertaining this world. And so, you know, my friends were saying, oh my God, you would love Long Legs because apparently it's about a serial killer. So then, you know, Long Legs started showing up on my freaking like Facebook, Instagram. So I decide, you know, there's something off. I don't know if I fully believe it's about a serial killer. So I do my Wikipedia. That shit ain't about a serial killer. It is, but he like summons the demons. Like, what kind of freaking movie is this? So long story short, I am doing all this in Puerto Rico in my own room, because we all had separate rooms. And I go to George, are you up? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. George. He's like, I said, George, I need you to hold my hand. I need you to hold my hand, and I need you to just stay here. And don't get possessed, because I will fucking kill you. But I need you to help me because I'm fucking scared. He's like, are you crazy? I was like, George, hold my hand. So I started sleeping on the top of the bunk bed and talking to him. And I go, talk to me. I'm scared. And so he thought I was crazy. But like, I just needed like a night of like assurance that like everything's going to be okay. And after that, I was fine. But, you know, don't believe everything you hear, because apparently it's not about a serial killer. You won't like that movie. So back to my traveling story. Long story short, I really think that traveling is very important. I think that one thing that I still stand by is like, one of my goals is not to just like, I know a lot of people, and I think we've had this mentality, like when I was in Berkeley, like it was like, of course I want to be a singer and I want to be an entertainer. Like I was meant to entertain. Like I was meant to do this. Like this is something that I love doing. There's like a high that I get off of it. Like it's just like, it's my calling. But something that I've learned is I also love to like see the world, see like there's so much more to it. And every time I go, I'm not your, like, of course I like my fair share of resorts just like anyone, but I love seeing things. So seeing and meeting people and hearing stories. And so it's so, to me, that's why I create though too. Like I create based off what I see. And like every line tells its story of what people tell me is going to be like a line that I write. And so for me, it's so important. And I am urging, like, honestly, I think that it's so easy to get comfortable with what you're in now. I know a lot of things, like I almost wasn't going to go. And I think that it's so important to see things. And there's like this quote that I one time saw that was like, when you travel, it's so easy to lose the world that you came from because you're not surrounded in it. So like, it's not like your heart is the heart, like home is where the heart is. And like, I found a home in a lot of places that I don't permanently live in. And I felt like I found parts of me and what I wanted through that travel. So like, I really do urge anyone, like it is important to get out of your comfort zone. Like take that trip, do that thing, go out. Like even if it's with friends or by yourself. Like I went to Paris by myself for a week and I had the best time of my life. And I found things about me in that moment. And coming back from Puerto Rico, one thing that I learned was like a reflection is like, it's not that deep. Like life still, like I've said this before, like life doesn't stop because things are hard, or like life still goes. And it's just this thing of like, you're going to find yourself in less than a moment, like a second, like things are constantly changing. And so I was like I had this moment of when I was like, why do I care about like what this person thinks or like what this, like, because I get, like, again, I suffer from like, I'll get anxiety. Like my anxiety like skyrockets. And in that moment I was just like, no, like it's okay to say no. It's okay to do things for you. It's okay to like, and those things just like, it's easier said than done. But like when you have that time to reflect and like see things, do things, like you start to see like, it's really not that deep. Like it's really not. Like you're going to go through things, but life keeps going and you got to cherish those like moments. And I also saw something that was that I texted Carson about that week. And it was like, the devil is such a liar that he's going to make you worry about the future so you don't take in what you have today. Like that's like the future is going to come, but take in every single day. And that was something for me that I was like, I'm here. I'm in this moment. Like, and I'm with these people and like eating this food. Why the frig am I worrying about something that like from 3 years from now? Like my mind just goes to that. And it's like constantly having to remind yourself like, no, like you're graced for today and today only. Like God's grace is sufficient for you today. And so take that, do that, and enjoy it. Like I made a joke. Like I was looking at myself in the mirror when I was in Puerto Rico and I was like, I'm aging. Listen, I'm 23. I'm not aging that much. But like there was just like this mentality of like, I looked at myself and I was like, whoa, like what I looked like at 17 is not what I look like now. My body is changing. This is changing. Like, and like, I was like, why the frig do I care? Like what, like, just do you. Like, just go out there and like, do the things that you're called to do and like, be the person you want to be, not because of someone or something. Like, you're going to constantly be learning. Like, even telling those stories I just told earlier, like, I was like, wow, like I've grown in like that, like those stories are something like I cherish because I also say like, I don't want to age with grace. I want to age with mischief, audacity, and something to tell a good story. Because for me, it's like, that's what life is. It's like, there's so many moments. And again, I'm big on do not get comfortable. Like it's calling over comfort. So do the things, do the risks, take those chances, meet those people, go live your best life. Because you know what? Like God's going to be there. And it's like, taking risks is one of the most amazing things, and like learning and like getting out of your comfort zone. Best thing. Don't get comfortable. Constantly just live and take those, chances. But had a great time. I'm tan, good recharge, and very thankful. I'm thankful for the people. I always say this. I'm thankful for the people in my life that stick by me, talk to me, and really like who love me for me, because the people that I was with in Puerto Rico, those people like genuinely, like George, I've known since I was 16. Des, I just met, but like I feel like I've known her forever. And it's like this moment of like being real. And that was another thing that stayed by me, is like, I have no interest in pretending to be someone I'm not. Like I don't like, and that's such a thing, like especially in LA, like you're trying to conform to what people want you to be. And I was just like, I have no interest. You don't like me? Okay. It's great. Thank you. You do? Love you. Like, be who you're meant to be. And that's something that I want to end off is I'm thankful. Surround yourself with people who genuinely are going to build you, because that is something that is so important to keep growing you. And I'm just, thankful. I come like last week I was robbed, and this week I'm still I'm thankful. So live your best life. Thanks for watching. This is Talks with T.